Okay, hello and welcome to my stream today. My name is Jason, also known as Dragon11. I'm getting back on with my shiny hunt for a 3-segment shiny Dudunsparce. I'm just starting off here, making a quick sandwich to get going. A little late start, as it's been a bit chaotic for me this weekend. So, what? Don't actually know what I have missed. Let's just go with the simple one. Picked up a few more herb mystica. So, right. Yeah, got a bit of a hectic weekend. A little bit late up today. So, I was planning to pop to the post office this morning, but wasn't up in time for that, unfortunately. Yeah, cracking on with this shiny hunt. So I've been doing a little bit of shiny hunting when I've had time this past week. Mostly on Legends Arceus. I've been trying to get my Pokedex entries perfected for the Pokemon I wanted, and ended up getting several of them in the process. So I've got 18 shinies over the past week. I think that's my final count, including about 4 of the ones I wanted. So I got I think the first one I got. One of the first ones I got was a Wurmple, which just from a random outbreak, and I needed the Silcoon line, and by sheer dumb luck, that one Wurmple I caught actually evolved into Silcoon, and so damn lucky there. And then I was trying to check trees for Burmy, and like the third tree I checked, I think it was, a shiny Wormadam of one of the forms that I didn't already have. So that's another one crossed off the list. I still need one more of that line. I need the Sandy Cloak Wormadam, or Mothim, or another Burmy, as I can swap forms and evolve as needed. Why am I not going down? There we go. I was trying to go down, and it wasn't going down. But yeah, hopefully try and get some of these Dunsparce. So checking for the pink ones. So just doing the same spot I done last time, or same loop I done last time. So the isolated spot I probably won't bother doing, because that seemed a bit boring. Just going back and forth constantly. This one's a bit more interesting as I'm doing a loop. Anyway, yeah, so on Legends Arceus I got Wurmple for Silcoon and a Wormadam fairly quickly. Not long after, found a massive mass out. Why is control? It's not responding properly. Done a massive mass outbreak and shiny Mime Junior as soon as I got there. So it was another one I wanted. So I actually wanted them for the Galarians, so I figured it would probably be easier to get them on Legends Arceus than on Scarlet and Violet through Masuda hunting. So as I was doing massive mass outbreaks, I figured I'd go for Mime Junior as well, so I could transfer them over and then evolve them to get the Galarian Mr. Mime and Mr. Rhyme. And getting one that quickly was another surprise. And when I completed the... because it wasn't that hard to complete the Pokedex entry for that one. And almost as soon as I'd done that, next massive mass outbreak, a bunch of Mime Junior spot popped up and got a shiny from that outbreak, so got both of the ones I needed for that. That was rather nice. So I didn't get any more unknowns, but I wasn't focusing on the unknowns while doing all that. I was going after the trees more than anything. I think Cherubi and Cherrim are going to be the tougher ones at this rate, because Burmy and Wormadam pop up fairly often, so Cherubi and Cherrim I think are going to be more likely to get from outbreaks. So notice they can be in outbreaks, while Burmy I don't believe can. But I'll see how far I get finishing off the last of the... Actually I've done most of them now. I think I've just got... I finished Mime Junior, but then got that. I finished Burmy, I finished... I think Cherrim I'm close to. Oh, Togepi as well. Togepi's another one. That Togepi's going to be a tough one, because Togepi doesn't spawn very many at a time. I need a couple of them. Usually you can not really get them in the wild, so it's breeding only. But usually, it's not always the case, but I hate the lighting in here. Sometimes you think it's got a bit of pink when it's just the lighting. Yeah, I need Togepi, so I've completed the Togepi's Pokedex entry, so I don't just need them to show up in outbreaks, and I can start going for them. Once I've done, I think it's Baneri, which I don't think should take too long. I've almost finished the Pokedex for that, almost completed it, perfected it, to boost the shiny odds. I think Baneri is the only one that can't be caught in the Crimson Islands, and all the others can be caught in Crimson Islands, including the unknown I've been going for, so I can just focus my attention on the Crimson Islands, and hopefully that should make it a bit easier to hunt for them. But it's going to take a little while, so once I've got that sort of set up, I'll sort of test it out, see how good it is to actually do the hunt, and then decide whether or not I want to stream it or not then. So the unknown ended up not being as good as I was hoping for streaming, hence I've been doing that offline. But the randomness of mass outbreaks makes it so I get quite a lot more shinies, even ones I'm not after. So I got, I think it was 18 was the number I got, and only like 4 of them I needed. So I'll be getting shinies, just not necessarily the ones I'm after. So, but the randomness, I enjoy randomness. So when anything's too predictable, I think it's a bit boring. So I used to plan things out meticulously and get everything in line, and then by the time I actually came to do it, it just wasn't as fun. So I now sort of leave it up to chance a bit more, and it's a lot more interesting. So I'll be going down that route. So I don't know what I'll be doing after that. So I've got these 2 awkward shiny hunts, the special forms on Scarlet and Violet to do first. So this one's going to be taking a while, and Tandem Mouse is going to take even longer. So, well, I imagine so. If I get that like first time, that's going to be crazy. But for now, I'm just roaming around in circles. Yeah. So I had quite a busy weekend. So the new Magic set has had its pre-release this weekend. Well, that's basically the release now, so because they allow stores to sell them as soon as the pre-release is done, so... I didn't touch it. I did not touch that. Anyway. But yeah, I've done 2 pre-releases, one Friday, one Saturday, for the Ether Drift set of Magic. Which, honestly, isn't the best set. We've had some very good sets lately, and this one's just meh in comparison. The theme is interesting, and it's kind of like wacky races in Magic, but the cards themselves there's nothing amazing in the set. It's too much focused on the novelty of it, and not on the actual formats in general. So, like 1 or 2 things will probably be played in different formats, but you'll be left with sort of nothing all that special to really get going with. So it's not a huge amount of value in the set, so not many people have been opening it, so we didn't have that many people turn up for the pre-releases, unfortunately. I went 2 and 2 on Friday. I didn't get an amazing pre-release kit, so sort of done what I could. I done okay. I made a mistake in the first round, so I'm pretty sure I should have won that if I'd not made that silly mistake. And yeah, on the Saturday I went 2, 1 and 1. So I drew in the first round, and fittingly we both ended up next to each other in the standings at the end. So we're obviously very closely matched, which I thought was very fitting. Hi there, Spider. Welcome to the stream. Just hunting for shiny Dunsparce to get 3-segment Dudunsparce. I'm just talking a bit about the Magic events I took part in at the weekend. I'm a bit run down from 2 Magic events, one of which finished. I'll pass on Union Circle, thanks. So I'm just roaming around in circles doing this, so I don't really need any Union Circle stuff done. But thanks anyway. So I just want to concentrate on this. But, yeah, so the pre-release on Friday finished like half midnight, half past midnight. So I was back quite late. I had to walk home, so no buses. And then I had to be back out again the next day I had to be back in town at the shop for 11 o'clock start. So. And then it was Pokemon Go Community Day yesterday, so I was out playing that, and then hurried back to play some games online with friends. So I'm a bit run down, so if I start yawning at some point, I apologise for that. Oh, there's shiny. Don't jump off the edge. Oh, you sod. Okay, that's annoying. Well, that's a shiny loss. I could reload the save, but I'd lose the sandwich, but there's no point. That's annoying. Stupid thing. That's so annoying. First shiny in the stream and it jumps off the edge and disappears. Shiny Sizzle and Butterfree? Yeah, I've got both of them. They're in my Pokemon home at the moment. So I've got most of the shiny decks complete. So the only ones I'm really left with on Scarlet and Violet are the 3-segment Dudunsparce, the family of 3 Maushold, and I need some extras of the starters to have the full living decks, which I'll probably breed for at some point. So I did start breeding for them, didn't get one. I've shifted my attention to setting up Legends Arceus for shiny hunting for the last ones I need on there. I've been doing during the week when I've had time. So I haven't had a lot of time these past few days. In the Indigo Disc. I don't think it's specifically in the Indigo Disc that it's so easy to find, it's just the game in general. By the time you get to the Indigo Disc, you've probably got the shiny charm and you're just seeing them more. So I found a lot during my normal playthrough, but also done a shiny only run through and just catching shinies as I went of the main game. I've done that on Scarlet. I'm playing on Violet right now. A lot of people. A lot of the time, it's a case of you don't notice. Why do they keep dropping? A lot of time, you just don't notice the shinies. There was another shiny that just dropped off. So a friend of mine played through the entire game, was convinced he'd never had a shiny spawn, but I'm pretty sure he would have had a shiny spawn in the amount of time he played, and just didn't notice it. By the time you get to the Indigo Disc, it's a lot easier to get Herba Mystica, and you can also use the blueberry points to get the meal that boosts shiny chance of everything as well. So you've got more ways to boost it in Indigo Disc, so I don't think it's that much easier. Look, looking backwards. Be careful, some of these have unusually large hitboxes. Already found a couple of times today. Almost missed a crystal. Every time they start digging into the ground, the dust they kick up as they go makes me think it's pink. And makes me think it's a shiny. It keeps throwing me off like that. I liked that one earlier that I missed. If I don't get another shiny by the end of this sandwich, then I might just reload that and see if it does come back. See if I can catch it before it jumps off. So I hit save before it jumped off the edge, so I'm hoping it will still be on the edge. If I get another shiny, I'll save for that shiny. I think I got, was it 10 shinies last stream? So I might hope to get at least close to that. So I'm hoping for 2 or 3 per sandwich. I reckon I'll probably have time for 4 sandwiches today, so I'll have to finish in about 2 hours. So 2 shinies per sandwich would be 8, which isn't too bad. So fairly close to what I got last time. Yeah, so definitely getting there with my shiny hunting. So I'll probably have to drop on to the Let's Go games at some point to get some of the Gen 1 shinies that I'm missing duplicates of for the full decks. I think I need like one of each of the Nidorans, Caterpie and Metapod, because I think I seem to keep getting Butterfree. I don't seem to have Caterpie and Metapod. Just a few odd bits and pieces from it. Just after I was originally only getting one of each evolution line, so just need to fill in the gaps now. So I'm waiting for Legend ZA to see what Pokemon will be in that to shiny hunt. I'm hoping that'll be able to fill in some of the gaps I'm missing. I'm hoping we'll get some more news of that with the Switch 2 announcement, or not announcement, the the direct that we're getting. Sure, ask away. Yes, I do have the Indigo Disc. I think I've already run out of things to catch in the DLC areas. My shiny decks. Hence I'm back in Area 0 for these. I think I can get them in Kitakami as well, but this is just the best place to get these. Well, I'd already been shiny hunting for a while before I even got the DLC, so just sort of filling in the last of the gaps now. Stop jumping on there, you'll fall off. Oh, this is looking like a very slow shiny hunt day. That one that fell off the edge might be the only one from the film. How long have I got left? 7 minutes. This sandwich has not gone well. I have a bad habit of that. First sandwich of the day always just doesn't go well. 7 streams I've had the first sandwich get nothing. Froakie. Can't remember where that is. I'm trying to think what area of Indigo Disc that's in. You have to get the pay the BP to expand the number of starters you can find. I can't remember what region those ones appear in. Brokey. Are they on the beach? Are they in the coastal biome? I think they're in the coastal biome. Just off the top of my head. You only need 1,000. Probably easy to breed for them. If you need 1,000 of them. Get one, then breed the rest. Yeah, I think it's the coastal biome you get Froakie in. I think you can find it on the beaches if I remember correctly. I seem to recall seeing Froakie on beaches. Probably check in a sec. So once the sandwich is over I can check for you. Pokedex, I don't know. Stop while I'm on the clock. I don't like going too fast because it doesn't spawn them in quick enough. End up sort of going around in circles trying to get them to spawn. The odd boost should be okay. Yes, it's definitely going to be a slow shiny day. Wow. Try and meander a bit to get as many spawns in as I can. Almost getting the hang of dropping off that ledge. What now? 4 minutes left. I start boosting out of habit more than anything. Speed boost just to close a gap. Ooh, he's a big one. This is going to be a slow start sandwich. If I can get that one back, I can at least get one out of the sandwich. Or just get another one. So if I restart, I'll lose the sandwich anyhow, so... If I get one, I could always catch it without saving, and then... If it doesn't come into a 3 second, I can restart and get the first one again. Wasn't too bad shot. God, keep spawning on the edge. That's very dangerous. Definitely a slow spawn down. Considering being late up today and still run down from the weekend. Might not be the best day for me. Don't ride backwards, don't ride backwards. Do it. And yet I keep doing it. One minute left. And that's shiny. Not gonna save. I'm just gonna go with a quick ball on this one, because chances are I won't be saving it anyhow. Trying ground type Pokemon. Probably the canyon biome is probably the best place for ground types. I'd assume. Maybe not. Maybe the savannah would be better. If you get Rhyhorn, Trapinch. Diglett you can find in the cave in the coastal biome. What else is there? Oh, someone just ended it. Golett you can get in the polar biome. Let's try evolving this. It's Hyperdrill. Coil. What are the odds of this being shiny? So I'm not going to save this one, I'll try and grab the other one. This does turn out to be a 3 segment, that's going to be amazing, but unlikely. So you'd expect it to be the canyon biome, but I think it's more rock type Pokemon you get in canyon biome. No, that's only 2 segment. Right, I'm gonna... I didn't save, so I can go back and get the one that was on the edge. I hope. So that would technically make it 2 shinies from 1 sandwich. Fairy type Indigo Disc. That. So fairy type. There isn't a huge amount of fairy types. I think possibly the coastal biome would probably have the most fairy types. Yes. Haha. Revenge. I'm actually gonna false swipe this one down. So I've caught everything in Indigo Disc, so trying to think what fairy types there are. You get like the grass fairies and stuff, which probably in the coastal biome. Can't think of fairies in the other regions. Save after that one. Right. Top slot this time. Grab the hyper drill. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other fairy types there are. Ah, sorry, 2-7 again. Oh well. Pokedex. I think what fairies there are. Milcery is a fairy type, I believe. Yeah, Milcery is in the polar biome. Yeah, polar biome for Milcery. Although we've got the event coming up for them if you need them. The Valentine's event. Comfey is a fairy, and that's one in the grass. I think of it as a grass type, but it's not. I always think of it as a grass type because it's flowers. But that is in the coastal biome. Psychic Oracle. So there's not a huge amount of fairy types in Indigo Disc. It's Ghost. Technically, Snubble's a fairy type now. That's in the polar biome. Vulpix is part of fairy. Oh, Ninetales is part fairy type. Ninetales is part fairy type. So you could technically catch a Vulpix and evolve it. Then you just got starters. Yeah, so there's only a few fairy types in the Indigo Disc. You got the Primarina becomes a fairy type. But yeah, beyond that, it's just there's only a few, so I was struggling to think of them. Anyway. No, Alright, time to go back to the surface and crack another sandwich. Oh yeah, I was going to check Froakie. Quickly check that now. If I don't check it, that will just bug me. Just to try and remember. Hold on, quick way to get that. Froakie. Coastal, yeah. So you can find it on the beaches around there, I think. What ground types were there as well? So got it. Numel or Nummel. A couple of places you can get that. Yeah, it's on the plateau in the coastal biome mainly. Gollet and Golurk are in the polar biome. So they're rock types. Drilbur, technically ground type. That's in the canyon and the cave, I believe. They're not actually ground types, because they're electric types, as they're lowland forms. Diglett and Dogcho in the caves in the coastal. So Trepinch just passed by. That's in the savannah. Sundial, another ground type. That's just Savannah as well. And Rhyhorn is Savannah, so Savannah's the best bet for ground types. Anyway, back to the hunt. Crack another save, because I save so much. Just crack another simple one. Salty and sour. Such a simple sandwich. Just plop the fillet in the middle and you're good to go. And down we go. Kind of dreading getting a giraffe rig or a giraffe as on my way through. Because I see them every time I land. I'm just waiting for one time for there to be a shiny around here. Any blue nose? Any blue nose? Does not like it. Controls are working properly again now. Didn't want to work earlier. Dive all the way down. Yeah, I'll count that last sandwich as 2, even though I technically lost one. I went back and checked it anyhow, so... Where are we? Some nice quick shinies would be great. Going through my VOD last week to get the screenshots of each of the encounters for the thumbnail and realised that when I got each shiny it was actually fairly evenly spaced apart, which was kind of surprising. I was expecting them to be more random. They were actually quite evenly spaced. Spot that pink belly. I'm still hoping they'll announce a Tandemaus outbreak event at some point to make it easier to get those shinies. If not, I'll probably, once I've done this hunt, I'll probably just start on them normally anyhow, so... It would be good if I could get this under odds, or both of them under odds, ideally. So as I restart the game, I'm zoomed out. I don't know that it automatically starts the game zoomed in. I always zoom out. So why doesn't it just save the camera view? I would just put it in the settings, choose what camera zoom to start at, or default camera zoom setting. Just that you can start off in that view. just makes things so much easier if they've done that. Keep meaning to check to see if I see any 3-segment Dudunsparce in the wild. I think they can be found in the wild, it's just very rare. It's close. I should ride backwards. Where are the shinies? Yeah, so Legends Arceus I've still got Unknown to finish off. A couple of Togepi, 1 Burmy, 1 Cherim or Trudy. Either's fine. 1 Baneri. I think that's it now. I think I've picked up most of the other things. I was not expecting to get Mime Jr. as easily as I did. But I did. I just happened to get a couple of outbreaks with it. Both outbreaks gave me shinies. So once I'm done with Scarlet Violet, I'll probably move on to streaming that if I think it will work as a stream. I'm not too sure if it will actually work as a stream or not. So I'll try it out off stream first for a bit, see if that looks interesting. If not, then I'll try out Let's Go and see if that works as a better stream. It's been so long since I shiny hunted on Let's Go. I think it's just a case of catching like 30 odd of the same type of Pokemon and just resetting the area until a shiny spawns. So if I can do it with that specific Pokemon, that would help. So I think the main things that come to mind for that generation are Nidorans, Caterpie, Metapod, and not a huge amount else. I think a lot of it is regionals that I need, that I just never bothered getting before for some reason. Or I just missed them out. Whatnot. So there are a few things I thought I had shiny, but just do not, so could be that I got one Pokemon Go and thought, oh yeah, I've got that. Didn't think about it in the main games. So ideally my shiny living dex will be non-Pokemon Go Pokemon, but a few things will have to be exceptions, like Meltan and Melmetal. They have to come from Pokemon Home. Technically the Furfrou forms currently are locked to Pokemon Go. I don't think you can transfer them through Pokemon Bank. And I don't think they've been available. No, they haven't been available since then. So Pokemon Go is the only way to get the forms. So you can get the base form from the old games. Halfway there. Yeah. So Furfrou I'm hoping comes with Legends EA. Seeing as it's Kalos, I assume Furfrou will be featured in it, and it'll be easy to get it shiny there. So hopefully they'll make it easy to get the forms through that as well. Which should unlock them in, or make them easier to get in Pokemon Home without having to go through Pokemon Go. There's a few things I've put in Pokemon Home from Pokemon Go just as placeholders that I'd ideally like to replace at some point. That was another one. From Legends Arceus, I got a Ponyta. Because for some reason, every time I get a Ponyta shiny, I evolve it. So I have a load of shiny Rapidash, no shiny Ponyta. I do have a shiny Ponyta now. That was another one I managed to get from an outbreak the other day. So I've transferred one from Pokemon Home already, but I want to replace it. So I've got that sorted now. Deoxys is going to be an issue. I had 2 Deoxys already shiny, but the other 2 I had to transfer in from Pokemon Home. And it's not the easiest to get anyhow, so I may just leave it. Ideally, I would like to replace all of the Pokemon Go ones with properly caught Pokemon at some point. As much as I enjoy playing Pokemon Go, I mean, it gets me out of the house, gets me doing a little bit of exercise, I guess, but it's getting to the point where they just seem to be greedy for money. They're just charging for everything, and they're adding new things that you have to pay for to do properly, and it's just, I don't want to do them anyhow. Why would I pay for them? So I keep saying about it on the stream, but the Dynamax, Gigantamax stuff, they've just done so badly. I'm convinced they've only added the legendary birds just to try and get a bit more interest in it. Because I just don't think anyone was doing it. I still don't think anyone's doing it. Or very few people are doing it, at least. But they've just butchered the mechanics so badly. Seeing stuff dropping off the edges. Dynamax should have just been part of the main raid battle system. They didn't need to add Dynamax as its own separate thing. They could have just integrated Gigantamax into normal raids. Or at least added max moves into normal raids. But they didn't. They done it as its own separate thing. With a limited charge that you have to pay to get more charge. Or expand in a single day. So if you want to do any event properly, in order to get enough charge to do it, you've got to pay basically. It's just, yeah, no. It's so hard to actually do them because they've upped the difficulty for most of it so much. You have to get a large group of people together to do it. Do they actually realise how hard it is to get a group of people that size together to do stuff like that? It's stupid. Our sort of local community kind of fell apart a bit after COVID, and it's sort of never really recovered. But there's a bunch of people that do still meet up, but they meet up on the far side of town, and they say, "Oh, it's central." No, it's not. It's really not. They argue, "Oh, it's where everyone wants to go." No, it's where everyone in your group wants to go. We did sort of have groups, sort of smaller groups all around town, but most of those fell apart during COVID. A lot of the... To be honest, I got bored of some of the group chats because most of it was just people saying such stupid stuff. I just couldn't stand listening to the sort of stuff they were spewing. It's just either just completely wrong information that they were trying to convince people of. I think they were convinced of it themselves, but where they'd got that information from, I have no idea. It was just absolute nonsense. They couldn't see it. It just got so frustrating trying to correct them constantly. And, oh no, but I'm right all the time. It's like, no, you're not. And I just got fed up with them. And people showing off shinies. It's like, oh, I got this amazingly rare shiny, and I'm just looking at my storage, and I've got like 10 of them. It's like, it's not. It is not a rare shiny, but they seem so happy about it. I don't want to don't want to burst their bubble. That's just like, they seem so happy that they got this amazingly rare shiny. It's not shiny. It's not rare. It's very common, but hey, you got a shiny. Congratulations. I just kind of got kind of bored of that. So there's another shiny. Yeah, so it's just one thing after another with Pokemon Go. They just seem to add things that are just bad. So I don't think they needed to add all the Team Rocket stuff. The Team Rocket stuff was just a way of testing the sort of proper PvP, as people consider it. But which I don't think they should have added to start with. I mean, sure, it gives a competitive medium for the game, but I don't think the game needed it. And the PvP stuff, I just find, just ends up as rock, paper, scissors a lot of the time. So there's only so many Pokemon in the game that actually work well for PvP. It comes down to most people have very similar teams, and each one of them will be strong against one of the others, and whoever starts with the best ones ends up winning. So it is rock, paper, scissors. Whoever picks the right one first wins. So as soon as you switch, you're on the back foot, because then they can switch into a strong one as well. It's just when the game first came out, people say, "Oh, you're supposed to have PvP, but it doesn't have PvP." And so it does have PvP. It's just not the sort of PvP that you're looking for. So the gyms are PvP. It's just asymmetrical PvP, which is all it was advertised as. The first trailer showed it exactly as it was. If you actually look at what's going on in that trailer, that's exactly what gyms were. One side attacking, the other side just watching as the Pokemon fight for themselves. That's what they showed, that's what we got. And then people complained that they didn't get it. It's like, yeah, you did. So then they started working on the proper PvP and used Team Rocket to test it, essentially. And they decided to butcher the Shadow Pokemon mechanic. There's an incentive to do it. It's like, that is such a bad way of doing it. Just butcher mechanics just to test something, and then might as well leave them in. And then they've just sort of doubled down on the Shadow stuff. It's like, oh, now we've got Shadow Raids everywhere. Great, I don't want Shadow Pokemon. So they're just getting in the way all the time. Then you have all the Team Rocket events they do. It's like, I do the bare minimum of them just to get the free stuff out of the event. And that's it. It's just... they just butchered so much to get it to work. Even when they added Mega Revolution. They done it so badly they had to go back and change it. They have somewhat fixed it now, so it is better than it was. But it's... I still hardly use it. But to be honest, I never really used Mega Revolution in the main games. It's a gimmick, is all it is. I mean, yeah, your Pokemon get stronger, but... is it necessary? No. It's just like, as it is now is fine, I guess, but... it's still a bit butchered, but... I don't think the Mega Evolution stuff is too bad. But the Dynamax stuff is just terrible. They should have just made them part of the normal battle system. I mean, Dynamax Energy, fine. You could collect Dynamax Energy to unlock Dynamax moves to use in regular raid battles. So, oh yeah, you can use these like once per battle. Okay, great. That's... or 3 times per battle. That's great. That kind of fits with the theme. As when they use the Dynamax moves, they could grow Dynamax style and attack. Likewise, when they... if they have Gigantamax, they can Gigantamax and use the move just 3 times per battle. That would be fine. That sort of represents the 3 turns that you get in proper Dynamax battles. Everything would be great. But no, they just completely butchered it. So I'm kind of dreading when they decide to add Eternatus, because that'll almost certainly be trapped behind Dynamax battles, which will suck. The stupid thing is, the main ways that you were supposed to deal with Eternatus was with the... I've just blanked on the names now. Zacian and Zamazenta. They were the sort of intended way to deal with it, because they have their moves that are super effective against Dynamax Pokemon. But you can't use them in Dynamax battles in Pokemon Go, because you can only use Dynamax Pokemon in Dynamax battles in Pokemon Go. Which makes no sense at all. In order to even do Dynamax battles, you've got to build a brand new team from scratch. And you shouldn't have to do that in a game that's this old, basically starting from scratch to use a new feature. That was close. Yeah, not my favourite system they've ever done. The costumes aren't too bad. They did go through a phase where they were just adding way too many costumes. I think they still do it a bit, but they're not as bad as they were. But at one point it was like, oh, here's a new event, let's have another costume. Oh, here's another new event, here's another costume. It's like every week there was another costume Pokemon being added, felt like. And it's just like, well, these are useless to me. I can't transfer them out of Pokemon Go, so what's the point? It's like, yeah, get them for the novelty of it. They're everywhere during the event, so fine. If you want a shiny of them, great, but again, you can't transfer them out of Pokemon Go. So, long-term collectability-wise, they're useless. It's just a novelty to have. They seemed like a great idea at first, and some of them kind of make sense. If they were like the costumes of Pikachu that you can get in the main games that you could then transfer over to Pokemon Home, that would be fine. That would be so much better. Or the cosplay Pikachu. If they sort of updated Pokemon Home to accept cosplay Pikachu and had all of those transferable, that would be fine. But they didn't. So, I mean, they've got the cosplay Pikachu, they've just not got it transferable. And they've only got some of the forms so far. So, they've got all the forms yet. I don't know. Can't remember what all the forms were. Might be one or two still missing. Yeah, it's just... my areas lately has become a bit more chaotic because we've had a sudden influx of sort of low-level players getting overconfident and trying to take over every gym in sight. And they just keep getting beaten down by the existing players, but it's just annoying having to keep doing it. It's like there's plenty of spaces on gyms for them to drop on, yet they decide to just try and take down every single gym. It's like, just think about it a bit more. If you can knock down a gym, so can other people. If you keep knocking down gyms, you are just going to keep getting knocked out of them. Just sort of dial it back, just take what you need and leave the rest for other people. And you'll probably benefit from it in the long run. But as it is, it's like they're just being forced out of the game because they're being too aggressive. So I'll just go funny way. Move the controller behind my leg. With how I'm sitting. We've also had some of the older players start to disappear a bit, so I think they're getting bored of the game. Which can't really blame them with what Niantic are doing with it. Don't want to keep paying for every single thing they add. Part of the problem is that Niantic have got used to the amount of money they were getting in before. Now the income's dropping, they're trying to find new ways to make money, and I think it's just putting people off even more, so it's stabbing themselves in the foot with it. What's after the sandwich? 3 minutes. Oh, another slow one. Can I get another one towards the end of the sandwich? This is really a slow day for shinies. I've actually done a count up from Community Day yesterday. I was a little late going out because I overslept again after my long day Friday, Saturday. Late night Friday, Saturday. I was like half an hour late actually getting started properly with the event. Community Day. Still got a decent number of Shelmet and Carablast shiny, so not too bad. Dragon type Pokemon in the Indigo Disc. Trying to think of Technically Flygon would be a dragon type. You can get that in the savannah biome. I think most of the dragon types are in other areas. So you might be able to get one in a cave somewhere, but... So a dragon type isn't a huge assortment of Pokemon to go for, so... Trying to think of any sort of obscure ones that might be there. So most of the sort of main dragons got featured in Paldea itself. So just off the top of my head I think of Flygon. So most of them are Paldea with sort of version exclusives. And what other dragon types there are that aren't the main ones? Oh, some just ended. Oh, game froze a little bit there. Right. One from that sandwich. Time to check for the segments. Got lucky they've all been the right level to just use one candy on. I'll sip a drink while this is evolving. And that's another 2 segment. Oh well. Not expecting this to be fastest hunt. Today does seem to be going rather slow, so Pokédex check for dragons. Alolan Executor is a dragon. That's probably an easy one to find. Find Alolan Executor in the coastal biome. So Flygon's dragon. Kingdra? Can you find Kingdra? Kingdra wild? No, you can't find Kingdra wild, unfortunately. Really not many dragons. Swablu and Altaria. Swablu isn't, but Altaria is? Yeah, Altaria you could try for in the canyon biome, if you can find one of them. Oh, XU does spawn here. A couple of spots where they can be found. So mostly canyon. Around the central section there. I wasn't sure about that. Actually, I was trying to think where XU spawn. Oh yeah, Gyrodon. Gyrodon's a dragon type. Isn't it? Yeah, still dragon. You can find them in the polar biome. Hydrapple is a dragon, but you can't find that in the wild. And that's it. So yeah, there's only a few, so it's not that many dragon types. Right. Back to the surface again. Come on. 3 shinies out of 2 summons isn't great. So, am I just missing them, or are they just not spawning? I'm still kind of tired, so I might be missing them. That's my concern. Save while I'm up here in case I lose the sandwich entirely. Crack the fillet. Yeah, if I wasn't in the middle of a shiny hunt, I would have helped you with the Union Circle stuff, but the problem with Union Circle is it drops your number of spawns, so I wouldn't be able to shiny hunt as easily with the fewer spawns. Oops. So I believe it divides the spawns between the number of players. I have found a shiny in or done Union Circle stuff before now. When I'm focusing on a specific hunt like this, probably not the best idea. Nosedive. In the middle. Come on, straight away shiny. Nope. Yeah. I'm playing the Pokemon TCG Pocket a bit lately as well. They've really mucked up the trading on that. They've made it overly complicated. I haven't actually done any trades yet, but when I was at the card shop the other day, a couple of the others were doing trades. Not a few of the others were doing trades. But it's just, they were finding it really tedious because they had to keep playing sort of trade tag with each other. One sends a request, the other accepts it, and they have to confirm it, and just back and forth so much. It's like, why not just have it so you can... Okay, sort of leaving a message to trade is okay, but if you're like face to face with the person, just let us trade directly. Just have 2 sides of it. Just simplify it. Just make it less of a ball ache. So you can trade fine in Pokemon Go. It's one thing Pokemon Go does pretty well, trading. Nice and simple. And yet they managed to mess it up with the TCG Pocket somehow. It does seem to be suffering from a case of power creep again, so it's not uncommon for card games to have that problem, but as you add new sets, the decks become more powerful. those decks take over the formats. It's like, okay, so each set there's more and more powerful decks, and it gets to the point where unless you're sort of paying to build those decks, you're probably going to lose against one of those decks. I got lucky, I was able to build some of the earlier ones just for free, but I've been trying to pick up pieces for some of the newer decks that I want to play, and it's just like, that's not happening in a hurry. So I'm more of a collector rather than a sort of competitive player, so the actual PvP events they do and any of the sort of battling type events they do just don't really interest me. I've done... That's a shiny Dudunsparce. Not 3 second, unfortunately. Just gonna quick ball this. Where are my quick balls? Oh, I didn't catch it. But I've taken to just leaving it on auto a lot of the time, doing a lot of the battle challenges. Just build a deck that works and just let it run on its own. Although the AI is really stupid sometimes. I've had instances where I've just left it to run and it's got to the point where it just needs to switch Pokemon and then attack with the new Pokemon to deal enough damage to win. Or it needs to switch, survive one attack, and the 2 attacks that it would get would win. And yet it doesn't do it. It leaves a Pokemon in that is about to faint, and then it faints. And it's a case of, you could have won that, and yet you've just threw it away. It's really dumb. So I've started sort of keeping an eye on it. If it gets to that point, I'll jump in, take over, and finish the match. But they can be so dumb. There it goes. I've had the computer lose against me when I've been doing that, and it's just like, okay, that's a free win. So I should have lost that. And it just throws it away and lets me win. So, nope, not that. No. Hitting all the wrong buttons. It's because I've been playing Legends Arceus again. The controls are just different on both games, and it just throws me off. But anyway, yeah. TCG Pocket. I still haven't had a God Pack. That is really annoying me. I think most of the other people I know who play the game have had a God Pack. I've got really rare cards. I've got several of the gold cards, most of the immersive art cards, and yet I haven't had a God Pack. I just get them as individual cards in regular packs. That is really annoying. And then I get a lot of packs where I get 2 of the same card in one pack. It's like, I didn't need 1 of these, and you gave me 2 of them. It's like, I didn't want to. That's another shiny. This sandwich is going better. Oh yeah. Where are we? That's told what's going on dinner tonight, so I don't know exactly what time I'll be finishing. That's 5 now. If I can get one more from this sandwich, it at least brings me back on track to an average of 2 per sandwich. Anyway, what other games have I been playing, mate? I play Pikmin Bloom on my phone as well. That's a very easy one just to play alongside Pokemon Go. Sort of start Pikmin Bloom up in the background, just leave it running. Sort of check it every so often. So it's a very simple game, but I don't think it needs to be too complex. Pokemon Go, they've just been making too complex. So with all the different game modes and features and stuff, but Pikmin Bloom is just about collecting Pikmin, so it's nice and simple. Some of the Pikmin outfits, things you can get, are a bit annoying because they're for things that just aren't available everywhere. It's like shrines and temples. Great. So that's just available in countries where there are shrines and temples. It's like, you didn't get the frog? You were hunting for Froakie Shiny Wild? Where? There's... You can try and get an outbreak for him, it's the easier way to do it. The outbreaks make hunting so much easier a lot of the time. So using a sandwich, I'm not... So a sandwich would probably work, but not too sure how easy Froakie would be to isolate. Wait, did I try and isolate Froakie? Can't remember if that was one of the ones I isolated in the earlier stream. But the water types are always difficult to isolate because 90% of the time they're around water where there are other water types. So isolating them through a sandwich isn't great. So I tend to... A lot of the time I prefer to use outbreaks to shiny hunt. So the main reason I'm not with this one is because I need so many to try and get the special form. Almost missed. What time am I at? Oh, I've still got plenty of time. I've got 2 shinies from this sandwich, I'm not even halfway through. This could be my catch-up. I had a moment like that last night when I was playing golf with my friends online. I dropped a couple of shots on the earlier holes, and then there was one hole I got like a hole in one on, and the others took like 5. And I think this might be my catch-up hole. You say that now, sort of attitude to it. I think I ended up winning by about 7 shots. I think I just kept going. I got off to a good start at that point and kept it up. Oh, I think at that point they started to give up and just started messing around, so... I recorded most of that. Probably do a little highlight video just for us at some point. I think they want to see how I done that hole in one. It was a lucky shot, but I had a rough idea of where I was aiming, and so it was a case of if I don't get it, I get it close. And it went straight in. One of the other, I think at a completely different time, I ended up, I think I got like 11 ahead of them at one point. I don't know how. I don't usually do that well at the golf. We're usually fairly even. Or it's them that's getting all the good shots and I'm just losing it on every hole. A lot of time if you mess up the first shot, you're sort of losing shots on every attempt. So we had a few clashes. At one point when I was ahead, I tried to knock one of the others in so that he had one shot less to help him because he'd been struggling so much on one of the other holes. And he was getting rather frustrated. I just tried to tap him in. As I took my shot, just trying to roll it up behind him just to tap him over the edge of the hole and possibly take mine in with it, was my thought. But as I took my shot, one of the others absolutely blasted their ball straight through and wiped him out. And mine just dropped into the hole afterwards with no obstructions, it just dropped straight in. Yeah, he'd already he missed a shot earlier on and he got so frustrated with it he just gave up on the hole. He just forfeited the hole, maximum shots, and just gave up from there. That put him on a bit of a back foot. I think he was hoping to make a comeback from there. Just okay, take a break, take a breather, leave this hole, come back to refreshed on a new hole, and he just couldn't come back from that. He just. One of them on, I think on our last sort of set of holes, on the last course we done, one of us was like 6 shots ahead, and I think I got a shot in like 2. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lo-Fi247. Yeah, he got like 6 shots ahead and was like, oh, you're not catching me now. And I was like, oh, you say that now. And like the next hole, I got a hole in 2. There's another shiny. I got a hole in 2 and he took like 7. I was like, okay, I'm now 1 shot behind. It's a quick catch. Yeah, I think we were only a few holes away from the end at that point. he thought he had the lead safe, and then I got a hole in 2. Took substantially. Well, he doesn't know how I managed to get over that quick. I'm gonna have to include that in our replay. On the last hole, I think we'd managed to equal each other on the next couple of holes, and it just came down to the last hole. And my first shot, I dropped short, which was annoying. I didn't quite get round as far as I thought I did, and then I heard him say that one of the others had knocked him forward, and it had saved him a shot. I was like, oh great, so I'm a shot behind and he's a shot ahead, so I'm probably not going to catch him. Next thing I knew, I was at the end before he was, and dropped it in on par, and then he had to. No, I think it might have even been under par, which I was surprised by. And then I realised that because you can watch each other once you've finished, then I realised that he was a shot behind. and it was going to be a draw. So he just managed to get it in with his last shot to get it to a draw. I think he was stressing out a bit. I'd suddenly caught up to him and I'd managed to get it in that quick because I thought I was going to lose by a shot. I managed to draw it in the end. So I'd done surprisingly well at the golf last night. So I got a few good shots. So there are a few holes that my friends got good shots, but I didn't do too badly on them. But there were holes where I done really well, and they done terribly. On one of the holes, my friend managed to get out of bounds somewhere. He doesn't know how he even managed it. I couldn't even work out where he was. But he'd managed to get into another part of the map, which I don't even know how his ball stayed there without being classed as out of bounds. It was just up on a high platform, which didn't even appear to be part of the course. So I don't think the developers had even marked it as being out of bounds because they didn't think anyone would ever be able to get up there. And yet he'd somehow managed it. That's bizarre. There were a few holes where I got really frustrated because I was landing, I was getting a good shot every time. As soon as I'd land, one of the others would knock me off and I'd be sent back to the start. And there's so many times I got sent back to the start. And I thought I'd managed to get safe. I thought I'd managed to stay up there long enough for it to count as being there. Nope, back to the start. It was just several times that happened. It's like, okay, I'm just... When I actually got to stay on that platform, it was like a hole in 2. But because of the number of times I got knocked off by the others, it was like hole in 5 or 6. Because I just kept getting knocked off repeatedly. But yeah, frustrating moments and some sabotage going on. So usually when one person's behind, they start sabotaging everyone else. They can't win, so they make it harder for everyone else. Sometimes it's unintentional. A couple of times I hit the others without even meaning to. So there was a bit of a glitchy lagginess going on at times. It's like you take a shot and then someone would suddenly appear right in front of you and you'd hit them. It's like, where'd you come from? I actually knocked one of my friends in doing that. I was trying to bounce off a back wall and get round the corner to get to the hole, and I ended up knocking him round the corner into the hole instead. I think it only took me like one extra shot to get into the hole from that point. But we do have some funny moments when we play. We spent a lot of time on the golf last night. We did move over to Lethal Company at one point, but we only played like 3 days, and then one of the others had to go, so we left it. So we're going to be trying to choose some new games to play to freshen up the roster. I still enjoy Lethal Company, but there's another shot. This is an amazing sandwich. So Lethal Company we're getting better at, but I think the others are finding it a bit too easy now, and part of the problem is I think we're not playing far enough to actually get the difficulty up. But the problem is the difficulty of Lethal Company has actually gone up a bit since they first released it. And I'm usually the one that just sort of goes off doing my own thing and exploring on my own, which they hate. Because I'd suddenly appear from nowhere and it would scare them. I'd suddenly be back on the ship registering like a ton of loot that I'd collected from the fire escape. I tend to go into the fire escapes when I can. But, last night it was a case of, okay, I've got all this loot, and I'm dead. Trying to think what I got killed by. I got killed by a spider one time, a spike trap another, and a one of the big sandworm things. And I was carrying too much. By the time I realised what it was, I didn't have time to drop everything and run. So that's what I have to do. The only way to get away from it quick enough is to drop everything until you're not slowed down by your weight. But I just heard this growling, and I was thinking, is that a dog? Is that what dog sounds like? I can't remember what dog sounds like. We hadn't actually run into a dog last night, which is unusual. We usually run into dogs all the time. We didn't run into a single dog. Me and one of my friends had gone out through the fire escape. I was full on loot. He had, I think, a sign and like a couple of keys or something like that, so he wasn't exactly carrying much. I thought, okay, we'll go out here and try and find the way back to the ship from the fire escape, because we weren't familiar with that fire escape on that moon. He went one way, I went the other. I didn't realise he'd gone the other way until I turned around and he was gone. And when I looked forward, I saw a whole horde of the baboon hawk things, which would attack and kill me as soon as they saw me. So I quickly turned around and went running back the other way, trying to find him. Strength in numbers, and he had a weapon, which I didn't have. So I was hoping if I could just get back to him, I could get some safety, but he had disappeared, and next thing I knew there was a salmon coming up out of the ground underneath me, which he must have passed by and not realised. He must have escaped it. But because I was trying to work out where he'd gone, and I was carrying so much stuff, I was going slower, so it managed to catch me. He got back to the ship and just said, yeah, I think Jason's dead. I was right behind him at one point. I was technically ahead of him at one point, then he disappeared off the other way. I don't know if the way I went first would have got me back to the ship, but I just ran into a load of monsters. Which was unfortunate. Spider was another annoying one. We stumbled across the mine shaft, which we've only done a few times. The others hate it. Very much as soon as we got down there, one of them jumped over one of the handrails into one of the bottomless pits and died. Which he said afterwards he thought there was another floor down below that he could jump down to. He didn't look. He just jumped. So, absolute stupidity. And the rest of us started going through. I had a touching cloth moment. Literally, I walked through a door and there was a turret on the other side of it. And as I turned around to try and get out, I hit the door and got stuck. And somehow the turret didn't go off, and I managed to sneak out the door before it went off. It got activated a couple of times, but didn't actually start firing. Don't know why. Maybe it was because I was in the doorway. It wasn't detecting me properly or something like that. Some sort of collision view thing, but I suddenly sort of dashed out the door and they thought I was going to be blasted to bits and quickly shut the door behind me. How the hell did you survive that? I don't know. And then when we continued further, we found the tunnels. Sort of the rough tunnels. I went into them, my friends didn't. They saw these sort of dirty ass tunnels and just turned away and like, nope, not going in there. I found a load of loot. I found plenty of stuff. So I turned around to come back out just as I was about to find the entrance. The spider coming at me. And I knew it was basically a dead end where I'd just come from, so it was basically get past the spider or die. So I thought, okay, I'll try and jump over it. I didn't make it. I landed basically on the spider and it killed me instantly. So the spike trap death, basically I walked through a door and there was a spike trap on the other side of it. It was very quick. Unfortunately, right after that, one of my friends stepped on a landmine, so I didn't get to see because I was laughing too much at the fact I think I'd stopped having a drink or something. So I was watching one of the others at the time, just sort of heard it, and I didn't see it, unfortunately. And he said afterwards, well, it didn't go off when I stepped on it, but it went off when I moved. I was like, yeah, that's kind of how a landmine works. I don't think he'd really understood that that's how landmines actually work. He was lucky he didn't kill all the others. They were standing near him. They were all in the same room. Fortunately, they were out of range, so he was the only one who died. But it would have been funny if we'd all just died in matters of seconds. And that's some jacket. Oh, that's not too bad. How many did I get from that one? Is that 3 or 4? 4. Oh, definitely caught up with that sandwich. 4 shinies from a single sandwich. Right, let's move these over to get them evolved. Meant to sort the moves out before I've done this. I should have time for one more sandwich just about. Okay. Might not be enough, no. Come on, 3 segment. I'm nowhere near odds, but if I do get one... Nope. Oh, come on. Nope. Third time's a charm? Nah. Oh well. Next sandwich. Should have time for one more. Unless I'm suddenly called down for dinner at a moment's notice. Which would not be the first time. I haven't actually been checking these for marks. I got a rare mark on one of the other ones from last week. That one. Oh, got one with a mark. Just an uncommon mark. And charismatic mark. Radiant. one's from last week. Right, save. Quickly head back up to the surface to get another sandwich on. So, yep. How many was that now? 10 shinies? Not 10. Is it 10? 7? Might be 7. 7 shinies. If I get another 3, it'll put me on track for 10. If not, it'll be 9, which is still fine. 9 makes for an easier thumbnail anyhow. Try and crack this out quick. Make a Sani. Salty sour. Start saving the sweet ones for sandwiches because you can make an egg sandwich, egg power 3 sandwich, which is handy for breeding, which I'll be doing for the rest of the starters. So to get them out of the way, use the sweets for that. So the bitter and the spicy I can do a sandwich with, and salty and sour works for this. Get all that done. Hopefully get another few Chinese from this sandwich. Dum, dum, dum. I always do that. Press B, which makes me crouch. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, my Wednesday stream this week will be back on with the Pikmin squared mod. Hopefully finishing that off. So I think I've got most of it done essentially. I've just got a few bosses to fight, which may take me a little while. So I ran into the fast food container cannon beetle, whatever it is. The boulder spitting, not all spit boulders, the homing boulder spitting cannon beetle at the end of my last stream, which was very dangerous, and I lost a lot of Pikmin, so I restarted the day, but that's I had seen that being played before. That was one of the bits I'd seen before, and that's definitely a tricky bit of the Louis quest. That'll be my first stop. I'll try and clear that area out. So I'll start with that cannon beetle thing, and hopefully have time to go around collecting up all the rest of the pieces. A lot of them I know where, I'm pretty sure I know where they are. There's a few bosses that have them. Or I need blue Pikmin to get them, and I didn't have blue Pikmin at the time when I was last in the area. Or I didn't have red Pikmin. One or the other, or both. Or something. But I should be able to get most of the remaining parts fairly quick. I hope. As long as I don't get really held up by one of the bosses. So I've already run into 2 new bosses that I haven't beaten yet. There's the cannon beetle and the long legs thing that I've run into. I have seen the final boss. I did catch a bit of some. I think it was Press A playing that. So I know what is to come with the final boss, and that's another new enemy. I think there's still one enemy for me to find in the area, the same area as the cannon beetle. So I need to... I'll need to face that next time, I imagine. I don't know what that will be. But I've opened up a decent amount of the area, I think. Oh, excuse me. Still a bit tired. So I'll probably start yawning at some point. Yeah, I'll be getting back on with that on Wednesday. Hopefully get that done. So I thought it was a bit ambitious to try and get it done in one stream. I'd need quite a bit of a longer stream than normal to get that done. But see what I can do. Come on, shinies. Since I turn the camera away, something spawns. Yeah, it's a nice, simple area to shiny hunt in. I was really surprised by how many shinies I got playing Legends Arceus, just for the amount of time I spent on it. I think it must have been my first Explorer. I got like 2 shinies in one trip, and it's like, right. I think that was actually when I got the Wurmple and the Wormadam in quick succession. So I specifically need Sandy Cloak now for Wormadam, because I've got the Grassy Cloak and the Trash Cloak. Fortunately, Crimson Mylands has Sandy Cloak, so even if I run into a Wormadam shiny, not a Burmy, that'll still be the one I want, so... So I've perfected Burmy, I've perfected... I've almost perfected Cherubi. I had perfected mine Junior, but that's irrelevant now. But I think, yeah, Cherubi and Baneri I'm close to perfecting. I might be able to get that done tonight, actually. Probably won't have time tonight. I've got to get the screenshot done. Probably start editing my highlights from my friends last night. I do post, though. I do upload those videos to YouTube, but I keep them private. So they're just fun little videos just for us at the moment. I may make them public at some point, but when we're just goofing around by ourselves, it's that interesting for other people. If you weren't there. That line came up a while back, or the other day. I can't remember what we were talking about. I think it was something to do with magic. How players today don't know what it was like when we first started playing. And with the way Magic is now, it will never be the same as how we had it, so the new players don't understand what it was like. I then go out the line, you wouldn't know, man, you weren't there. Got a bit of a laugh out of everyone from that. And it's true. They weren't there, they wouldn't know. Just the perfect line for that moment. Oh dear. Really want to go. Yeah, looking at this, staring at a screen for this long, shiny hunting does get a bit tedious. When I'm playing handheld, I put it down periodically and take breaks, but trying to do this on stream, I'm just constantly looking at it for 2-3 hours, and it does get... I start going funny. That's part of the reason why I don't do longer streams at the moment. Playing something else, I might do longer streams, but I think I did do longer streams for Genshin when I played that. Maybe Batman I'd done a longer stream or two for, but this is just too much of a strain on on my eyes. So I'm already tired anyhow today, so really feeling worn down. I think by the time I got everything sorted when I came in Saturday night, I think I ended up only having about 3 hours of sleep, if that. So by the time I got to sleep. Ooh. Oh, I'm really gone. Yawning. Apologies for that, I am rather tired. And shiny hunting like this does get rather fatiguing, I think. It's not that hard, but it's just doing the same thing for this long does weigh you down a bit. About halfway through the sandwich. So I got 2 from the first sandwich, 1 from the second, 4 from the third, so that's 7 so far. Ooh. Kind of like 2 more because it makes a neater thumbnail. I just squeezed the 10 I got last week into a bit of a tight thumbnail. Ugh. Yeah, I shouldn't have too bad a weekend this coming weekend. Hopefully get a bit of a lay-in. Probably have a bit of a lay-in tomorrow. Although I do have to go around the post office. So I'll need to be up by lunch to get around there in time. I was hoping to be up today, and I knew I was going to be tired and struggle to get up, so I asked to be woken up. I said they'd wake me up in time to get around the shops. They woke me up at 1:45. I still need to have lunch, get washed and dressed, and then get round there by 2. By the time I was actually ready to go, there would not have been time to get round. I would have had like 5 minutes to get round there and back. Well, get round there and get it done before they closed. And I looked at the time and I was just like, yeah, this is just too late. I needed to be up like an hour earlier. I was expecting to be woken up like 12. They said they'd wake me up for lunch. In my head, lunch is 12. You can take lunch later, but if you want to be woken up before lunch, you're being woken up at 12. Or by 12. They didn't. But, whatever. I do set alarms, but I think I've gotten so used to them over the years that they just don't work on me. So I just sleep through them now. I think I've like 4 different devices, each doing 1 or more alarms. Okay. But yeah, I just... when I wear myself out like that, I struggle to get to sleep at night as well. So. Because I've always got stuff I want to get done. I want to get it done before I go to bed. And it ends up taking longer than I expect, and then I'm late to bed. Excuse me again. Okay, halfway through now. Halfway through with no shinies. That last sandwich was a bit nuts though, so... yes. People stop talking. So, struggling to keep going in between yawning. The more I talk, the more I want to yawn. I'll try and stop myself from yawning, but that stops me from talking as well. About 15 minutes left, so... yeah, this weekend I should have a bit more of a lazy time, so... got my Friday Night Magic on Friday. Be a little bit late back from that. Then there might be a draft over the weekend, probably Saturday. I haven't actually announced an actual date or time for it, but it'll probably be 11 o'clock Saturday. I don't know how well that will go, so may not even fire, so Ether Drift doesn't appear to be the most popular of sets to open or play, so it's just too many gimmicks that don't really have that much power behind them, unfortunately. Attention drifted a bit there. Yeah, I might try and pick up some more Herba Mystica by next week as well. I'm getting a bit low. I did pick up a little bit this week. I don't know. A very quick raid earlier. Picked up a bit. I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing. Maybe a quick sip of drink will help. Just pause that for a sec. So, back in a sec. Okay. Right, rehydrated. See what I can do. Come on. Couple more shinies just to finish off. At least one shiny from this sandwich to finish off. 2 would be great. 1 I'd accept. Say 4 shinies from one sandwich was a bit nuts just now, so. If you want to give me a 3-second, that would also be great. I'm getting rather hot, so I think I turned the heating up. I'm baking my room again. So annoyingly, my room is either hot or cold. It's very difficult to keep at a comfortable temperature. My parents do not control the heating very well. They do not understand how it works. I have background in architecture. I know how it works. I specify a lot of things to do with heating systems as part of my work. At least when I actually have a job. There's still no sign of that picking up. But they just don't want to listen to me about that sort of thing. They think I must be wrong. I'm just a kid to them. So what would I know about heating systems and ventilation and stuff to do with designing a building? I only have a master's degree in designing buildings. So what would I know about designing buildings? But anyway. Yeah, there was when the extension was built, they lost a lot of the insulation from the back of the house and they just didn't bother replacing it. It was a kind of cheap-ass builders. And most of that insulation was from the wall in my room, so that wall gets very cold. Kind of sucks the heat out of the rest of the room and makes me kind of freeze if the heating isn't on. Even when the heating is on, it needs to be up fairly high in order to actually heat the room up quick enough to counteract the heat lost through that wall. Meanwhile, during the summer it's the opposite problem. The heat just comes straight through the wall. My room faces south, so I get the full heat of the sun. But they've started moving the thermostat around in the house because they've got a main central thermostat. Controls the entire house, so usually you'd have like 2 thermostats to control different parts of the house. You'd have like one for the sort of daytime spaces, one from the nighttime spaces. They'd each be controlled separately. They've never done that in this house. Everything's just all on one system. Which is somewhat of a nightmare. But they had put it in the kitchen, so it wasn't coming on. Because the heat in the kitchen gets too hot. When the kitchen's hot, the thermostat thinks it's warm enough, so it doesn't turn the heating on. So the past few days, my room's been freezing cold. I don't know if they've overridden it or they've moved it somewhere else. But at one point, they had it right by the front door. Just as bad, but every time you open the front door, it gets cold and turns the heating on, so the house boils. I think they didn't turn down the setting so it wouldn't come on as much, but that just makes it worse again. Struggling here. I think I'm glad I'm going to be finishing after this sandwich. I'm really starting to waver. Oh, this is about to end, isn't it? 6 minutes. Come on, one shiny. One shiny from the sandwich. Or two shinies back to back. Two shinies back to back would be great. But at least one shiny. At least one shiny. Focus, 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 focus. Oh. I hurt my leg over the weekend with all the walking I'd done as well. I didn't actually do it with the walking itself. It was when I got home, I got cramp. I got cramp and it pulled a muscle in my leg. I was walking at least 10 kilometres a day, so... The first day was in squeaky old shoes, which is bloody annoying every step I took. But they're not that old, actually. They're an old pair that I found in my wardrobe that I hadn't worn. And I needed a new pair. I needed to start a new pair of trainers. Usually, I get a couple of pairs of trainers at a time, keep one spare. So I've got a spare one for when the first pair wear out. But I wasn't. My pair I was wearing properly had worn through the sole. And my backup pair was an older pair that I'd found in my wardrobe, and they had a squeak to them. The glue seemed to have gone funny in the sole, so the sole wasn't properly sealed. There was air squeaking out of them every step I took, so I tried to repair it by sealing it up with super glue, but super glue would never hold on that sort of material. My dad convinced me it would work, but I shouldn't really have trusted him. He had no interest in actually helping me fix them, so why would his alleged fix actually work if he wasn't trying to help? Needed to get the glue actually into the seam itself, but he wasn't helping me do that either. So, didn't work. Shoe started squeaking again. I got very pissed off on the way home. Because that was the pair I was wearing last night, or the Friday night. When I went to get my spare pair of shoes, there wasn't one, or not one that was ready, so I just had to fiddle about sorting out my new shoes from my cupboard. My new shoes. That just made me even later to bed, so... Hence I didn't get much sleep Friday night. Had to be up relatively early for me on the Saturday to get to the next pre-release. And then Sunday I had community day, which wasn't the best. Right. Come on, come on, come on. Give me a shiny. A shiny. Just one more to finish off. One more to finish off. How long have we got? 2 minutes. Have I got any shinies from this one yet? If I don't get any, I'm just going to quit and save the ingredients. So I'm going to put this down to being tired. I may have missed some. I'd like to say I haven't missed some, but considering... Oh, I've actually got a bit of extra time. I might be able to squeeze in another sandwich after this. Probably won't get the full sandwich done. Got until 10:02. Obviously running late with dinner. I might get one more done. So, even though I am still feeling tired, but I might get another one done. If I'm lucky. If a shiny spawns now, I'll take it. Time 1:24. Just see it out. You never know, I might get a last second shiny. I have done well on last second shinies before now, so. Didn't run into it that time. Anything. Problem is when I start staring at Pokemon looking for a shiny for this long, I start to hallucinate the shiny. Which doesn't help. If I hallucinate the shiny and it's not shiny, then that's time wasted. It's always done. This is going to be a bust of a sandwich. That's long. Yep, it's done. Right. Put that. So I've got... Is it 15 minutes now? I can get half a sandwich done. Try half a sandwich, see if I get it. I'll finish the sandwich off stream. Never know, I might get lucky. So. Adjust the camera angle. Oops. It's done quick. Hit and miss for this stream today. So 2 shinies, 1 shiny, 4 shinies, no shinies. When I watch this back on to get the screenshots, it's not going to be as consistent as last week's one. That was quite nicely consistent. That's fine. I need to Pokemon sleep, I need to do some food on there. Press all the buttons, not the right ones. Going down. Beep beep, get out the way. Whoa. Ooh. I really shouldn't be streaming in this. Struggling to hold on. I want the shiny. I want to get the shiny. Come on, straight away shiny, straight away shiny, straight away shiny. Oh. Anything? Screw. Dunsparce over there, not the shiny. Right. Okay. Actually managed to pick up a couple of packs of prismatic evolutions when I was in the card shop on Friday. They'd managed to get some more stock in, and they were just unpacking it while we were doing the pre-release. So those of us that were there, we got the first pick at it before they stuck it up on the website and stuff. By the next day, it all. Actually, no, it hadn't all sold. I don't know. The first batch, I think all the trainer boxes sold almost straight away, but the 2 and 3 packs and other packs and stuff didn't sell as quick. I think that set's stupid. It's mostly a reprint set. It's so when I said that to others, I didn't realise. So I only collect for card decks, so I sort of skimmed through seeing if there are any newly printed Pokemon, but I went through and was like, okay, this has only just been printed and that's the same artwork. This is the same card for a few of them. So I recognise the recent released Pokemon. Yeah, I picked up a couple of packs just to see what I get, just for the fun of it. But I got an Espeon EX, but not the fancy art one, just a regular art, sort of extended art one. But still not bad. Trying to do Pokemon Sleep with one hand and this with the other. It's falling off the edge. That's in the crystal. You can usually tell when I'm using one hand because the camera stops moving. So I can steer with one hand, but I can't change the camera angle. So I'm just hoping nothing is spawning behind me when I'm doing this. What the heck? There we go. It's an unusually low amount of spawns for a second. Come on. Give me another shiny to finish on. Or two. Two shinies would be great. To have 7 shinies from one stream is still better than some of the streams I've done, so... Not the end of the world, but... Would have liked more. Would have definitely liked more. Just go for speed. Rapid fly past. My attention is sort of wavering as I'm doing this. God, that hitbox is way too big. I'll rapidly collect ingredients so I've got a sec. Oh, Pokemon sleep. Yeah, Pokemon sleep. Fun little app, but there's not really a huge amount to it. And it just doesn't seem that well. It seems like a lot of the time it's just like pick like one thing and focus on that, and that'll just carry you. And it's just like it's kind of dumb, but and then it's just pot luck what actually spawns. I got a load of shinies on it. I'd like more shinies, but you can't really hunt for them or anything. It's just on the very rare chance that they appear, you get them. So I would be tempted to try to hunt for them, but I can't. You can sort of hunt for specific Pokemon by so going to the right area first and getting the right sleep style. Because you can sort of manipulate what your actual sleep style comes back as. So if I want to seem rather active, I'll usually like sit in bed for a bit and just let it sort of feel me moving around before I actually go to bed. Alternatively, if I want to make it seem like I'm less active, I'll just leave it on my bedside table rather than leaving it on my actual bed when I go to sleep. So I'll still knock it from time to time. Still knock it and make it detect movement so it doesn't register it as false, but let it Pokemon sleep for a second. Oh, I've already fed them this afternoon. No, never mind that. Oh, that's right. I want to be up for 12 so I could feed, or before 12 so I could feed them before 12. And then I overslept and no one bothered waking me up, despite being asked. I didn't actually get to feed them before 12. So that's all sorted. I did actually just get a TCG Pocket notification that my pack's ready to open. So, opening up the new set, mainly opening the Dialga packs at the moment, because most of the things I want for either new decks or upgrading my existing decks are in the Dialga packs. Amusingly, the only Dialga I've opened was from a Palkia pack, which was just stupid. The gold one. I got a gold Dialga from a Palkia pack. Usually Dialga's only available in Dialga packs, but the gold ones don't follow that same rules. Misspeaking a bit because I'm tired. Oh, come on. This is really slowed down. Am I just blind to shinies? Am I just too tired to actually see the shinies? Is that what it is? That could just be what it is. So this is taking rather a long time, which I was expecting to be a lot quicker. I need to change to the other spot quickly. Do one more loop, see if I get a shiny, then swap over to the other spot. I really shouldn't be finishing that now. I just want to get one shiny to end on. Catch it, quickly evolve it. It's not 3 seconds. It's not 3 seconds. So I don't like the other spot too much, but last time I was having a bit of a drought, I went down there and got one straight away, so it's like, maybe that's the plan to go with. Alright, I'm going to quickly dive down to the other spot. Which I'll do this top platform first. Anything? No. Where's the other spot? That's it. Is that it? It's not it. Oh my god. That's it. I think that's it. That looks like it. So in this spot, They all spawn up there. So you just get into one spot. No, not quite all of them. So there's usually one down the bottom. One awkward one. Those are there, not shiny. Come back. Check for shiny. So more controlled area might make it easier to spot. So hopefully. Problem is one could spawn just so I move out of range. Oh, give me a quick shiny, quick shiny, quick shiny. Do drop off a little bit. Booster pack. Check the booster pack while I'm roaming back and forth. What bunny? Need one of them shiny ones. Shiny decks, I'm after Baneri. Weasel. Get one top. Drift Blim, Mighty. That's absolute garbage. That's most of my packs in Pokemon TCG Pocket at the moment. I hope I'm not missing stuff because I'm much not. I'm focused enough that. I'm really not getting shinies as often as I'd like today. Not doing too badly overall, but this is a little on the low side. So I would have liked one or two more shinies. Put it down to being tired. Just say it's because I'm tired. It's not actually been called downstairs yet. So. Oh, I technically got left 12 minutes left on the sandwich. But yeah, they give me a time. They're never actually ready on time, so. They expect me to go running straight down as soon as the time they say comes. I'm not hanging around doing nothing for half an hour while I wait for it to actually be finished. What sucks is the way they spawn in as you're moving away. Why does the shiny all spawn in just as I move away? Come on, give me a pink one. Pink belly, pink belly, pink belly. Oh dear. This is kind of disappointing end. One sandwich got nothing, and this one's not getting anything yet either. So it's like, wow. Did I just use up all that luck on the 4 shiny sandwich? Is that a shiny? I don't know. No, no, I've just been messaged to say that dinner's ready, so... I could easily be missing them, so I'm not focused enough. Too tired. One shiny could just appear right now. That'd be fantastic. I don't think the spot's working. Don't think it's working. Try one quick pass before I go down for dinner. Probably shouldn't, but tough. Just want one more shiny. One more shiny just to end on. I think it's nice to end on a shiny. When I've got them back as a shiny. Quickly catch this and then I'll end. I've gone quite a bit longer than I was expecting to, but fine. Yeah, this was a rough one. Oh, critical hit, that saves a bit of time. Double edge, could be dangerous. Not for me, because he's best time. Right, quickly catch that. Perfect. Right, so I'll be streaming again this Wednesday. Hopefully finishing off Pikmin Squared. The Louise quest. I'll be, unless this gets a 3 segment, back onto the shiny 3 segment Dudunsparce hunt this time next week. Assuming I don't get offered a job in that time, which is looking unlikely at the moment. But hopefully get there eventually. That won't be some air candy. Ease on these. That's not enough. And see what it is. So all these VODs will be uploaded to YouTube after stream. So if you're watching this on there, you can check me out on Twitch. That's still not a 3 segment. Fine. So you can check me out on Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, you can check me out on YouTube. Check out all my VODs on YouTube. So I should get that up later tonight. But until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you around. Bye.